my true love story was my mom. And I think like now I don't even think, I'm convinced. I think she was my soulmate. In the span of 22 years, she had 4 different cancers. I've seen her fight all her life, but what a mind, what a beautiful fighter spirit she had, because she's my hero, in every aspect. I don't think even till date I've fully dealt with it. I managed it.
How did you deal with that?
I was just so anxious. I didn't want to lose her. That particular night, I said, if you're not healing, I just take her. Don't put her through this. And that was it. That was the night she went. And the next second, I heard my dad. I ran out and I kicked one guy, and then I had a scuffle with the other one. And I didn't realize when he removed the knife and he put it through my face. And I thought, this is it. This is my life. It's been great. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about songs. My face is, pumping blood out, and there in my head I'm thinking, Suraya Masuri Mama. And I went the next day. And we went deeper, and it was a better dive than the previous day, but I don't think I'll do it again. But I did it, just to face the fear. And I think that's how I overcame it. Even the fear of somebody getting close to you at 5 a.m. I said, I'll face it. Even if I have to put up a fight, I'll face it.
Hi everyone, welcome to Life with Purpose 131. My name is Meera Shah, and Life with Purpose 131 is all about raw, real, and authentic conversations. So today my special guest is somebody called Vikash Pattni, who's an actor, MC, moderator, and a TV and radio personality with 9 years of experience. And I've had the privilege of actually sharing the stage with him as well. Welcome to Life with Purpose 131. How are you doing?
Thank you. Doing really well. 131.
I love the part of 131.
What does it mean?
Well, I had this chance of actually getting to learn a little bit of numerology. And 1 is actually the number of the sun. And 3 is the number of Jupiter.
Oh.
So that's the reason why 131.
So what's the other one?
1 is still the sun.
It's not like 1 is the number for son, 3 is the number for daughter, and 1 is...
No, not at all.
I know families who've planned themselves that way.
Yeah, that's
They
so
got 1
true.
son, 3 daughters, and 1 more.
So, yeah. How are you doing? You good?
Great.
Good.
Super.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
In fact, I've always loved working with you, and it's always been my privilege to share the stage with you as well. And I think we've had a lot of fun together.
We do.
Yeah.
We have. In fact, I was just going through my phone. I was first introduced to you by your cousin, and she told me, I was saying, I want to become an actor and all. She said, my cousin's a director. And then I saved your number as Meera director. Till today, it's Meera director.
Oh, wow. So tell me something. How did you start your journey into acting? I think that's the first thing you started with, right?
Oh,
And how long ago?
This would have been 2011, I think 2011, 2012. I
Okay.
think 2011-ish. I wanted to be an actor, and I was too scared to tell anyone about this, because growing up, 90s, 2000, it was like a far-fetched thing. There was no Instagram and TikTok, which everyone's become an actor today. Back then, it was like, you tell somebody. I went to my mom once, and I had the courage to tell her. She said, I want to become a president as well. Go and just do accounts. So everyone was either doing accounts or somebody was flying out. Most of my friends went to Australia, some went to the UK. And the ones who were here were doing accounts, and I did what everyone else was doing, but I had this deep desire inside me to become a performer. And I was doing ACCA, and then I think I read some 7 papers, and then you start working. And I got into, after that time, I remember I used to just work for whoever pays more. So I started off with somebody who was paying me 3,000, and then I went to 6 and 9 and 12, and somehow I ended up at a bank that paid well, and they used to do this weird, well for them, Now I feel like, what were they paying? uh, they used to do this thing where every Friday they would call some tutor
Okay.
who would motivate you. And I was in sales. So this person came up with some software that tells you what field you should be in.
Mm-hmm.
And 2009, that felt like, what? And by 2015, everyone was doing that on Facebook. Remember, there used to be those application. You could be an actor, you could be a footballer.
Yes.
So she had that before it got leaked on Facebook. So she had come on some Friday and she had a book, and I did mine, and mine came to acting. And I told my mom, look, the universe is giving me a sign. Today it would be algorithms. Then it was, it felt like that. So my mom was like intrigued, and she's like, okay, let's go try it. What is this? So we went, and then through that I got the courage. And then Three Idiots had just come out, and then so
The
that
movie.
also helped.
Yeah.
So we watched that, and then she's like, look, I have no clue how to help you. I have no contacts. This thing looks very far-fetched. There's no industry here. How are we going to do this? I don't know. I'm going to give you all my savings. You figure out a way. And again, there was no even internet as such. What was that? Google? I think there was Google. I think Hotmail and those had just started getting
Started.
in.
Yeah.
But we couldn't Google as much as we do now. And I think I somehow asked around, and somebody told me go and do mass communication as a course. And I enrolled myself in this college, and I paid for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 months, they turned out to be conmen. So they ran with all our money. And now I didn't know what to do. And then I thought to myself, how would I become an actor is if I go for auditions. How would I know where auditions are happening is if I see audition posters. How will I see audition posters? Maybe if I design them, then I'll be able to know where it's happening before the world, and
Yeah.
then I'll go for it. So then I went and studied graphic designing. It was the cheapest course I could do for, I think it was 10,000. They teach you how to draw squares and triangles in Photoshop and all. And so I started off with that, and I was just doing some freelance design work here and there and everywhere. And then I lost my mom in 2010, and I think she had a conversation with God. She said, can we please just help this guy? I don't know what he's doing with his life. And then that's 2011. I can't remember how I got into contact with them, but I did a TV show, a very small, minute TV role. And then I started getting into plays as well. In fact, that's how I met you. I
Yeah.
talked to your cousin, and then she told me you were directing a play. I couldn't be part of that play because you had already started staging it.
Okay.
And then I started off backstage, and then something happened. Some guys from India were bringing a play with the same storyline to Kenya. So this play got cancelled. And then those guys didn't get in touch with me. I thought they get in touch with the actor. Apparently the actor is supposed to reach out to them to say, hey, what happened? So there's a lot of confusion. And then eventually I got into theater, and then TV started happening, and then that's how, and then radio happened a few years later.
Okay. Amazing. So you actually mentioned your mom passed away in 2010.
Yes.
Are you okay to share? Like you've mentioned your mom quite a bit. It feels like you were very close to her. Do you mind sharing her story?
Oh, no, absolutely. I love it. My my mother was called Prafula. And I think like now I don't even think, I'm convinced. I think she was my soulmate. Um, my true love story was my mom. And in the span of 22 years, she had 4 different cancers. When I was just a few months, or probably the first year, she had mouth cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and she fought it. She came out of it. In 98, she had breast cancer,
Okay.
and then she also came out of it. 2008, she had lung cancer. She was 70% healed, and 2010 the mouth cancer reoccurred and went to the neck. So I've seen her fight all her life, but what a mind, what a beautiful fighter spirit she had, because um, she's my hero, in every aspect. If I think about her, I just think about all the good times, and she had the warmest hug. It was beautiful, and I recall, the power of the mind. Now is when I'm learning about all of it. But she had probably discovered this way before everyone else, because the doctors had told her you'll be on liquid diet all your life.
Wow.
And she convinced her mind. She said, no, I'm going to eat. And she started eating solid food. She was told, your energy will be always low. And she was like, no, I'm going to be working. And she worked. She was a salesperson. She had done lots of other work as well,
Wow.
standing 12, 13 hours a day,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then still come and raise a demon like me. And it was crazy. It's insane. Yeah.
yeah. So when you lost your mom, obviously, I'm sure you lost a very, very big part and very important part of yourself. And how did you deal with that? The
Lot.
grief of losing somebody you really, really love.
Oh, it's hard. I don't think even till date I've fully dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
I managed it. I think that's what I've done. I managed it. It was very difficult because, um, what I can recall is every time. Okay, the first one I wasn't too aware of what's going on. I was an infant, but the second one, the 98 breast cancer that she had, and I remember before she went for her operation, I was still very young. 98, I must have been about 9, 10 years old,
Okay.
and she hugged me before leaving to India for operation. And it was, now I recall it as she said, I don't know if I'll be back. I don't know what's going to happen. And then she came back, life moved on, and lung cancer happened. And again, we did the same thing. And she's like, I don't know. You don't know whether the C word is such a scary thing in every household.
Yeah.
It just brings up all sorts of anxieties and uncertainties. And when 2010 happened, and in my head for a long time, now I was 22, and I had a lot more responsibilities than I had then, because now I had to also be part of running the house and figuring out studies and doing a job. And previously, she had not involved me in her healing
Mm-hmm.
recovery journey as such, because I was not playing any part in helping her with anything. She was just doing it on her own.
Yeah.
She was still cooking her own food. She was still cooking for all of us. But now the condition had gone so bad. Her body was changing. It's the first, for me, hair is such a big thing. The
Yeah.
minute I see someone's hair, and if they have beautiful hair, it's the first point of attraction for me. And to see your mother without her hair for the first time, because this is the first time she went through chemo and she came back without hair. And I remember when I went to pick her at the airport, I felt like something literally, like physically broke inside me. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
felt that sensation.
I have. Yeah.
You feel like, oh, something's hurt here. And I would, my aunt would grind the food for us, and then I had to feed her using a feeding tube. And that's so hard. And then, with all the injections that she was getting during the chemotherapy, the right arm had just swollen to a very different. So her body was deforming. But something in me, there was a voice that said, "Yeah, it's temporary. She'll eventually come out of this." And for 9 months, I remember every time in the morning, I would make carrot juice for her, and I'd wake up and this thought in my head. There was one particular day I recall very well, and I said, "I don't know when this will end,
Mm.
but It will end. So I was very hopeful. And then her last couple of days, I remember one in very particular. She had lost her now ability to speak because it had spread all down the mouth, so she couldn't even open the mouth. She wouldn't be able to explain a lot of things that she wanted. And I think she was detaching herself to me because she knew how attached I am to her. So it was her attempt to keep me away. And I could sense the distance, and I was not willing to let go. And I remember this time where she had shifted to my bed, and now I would share my bed with my father. And I would go into my room and I would just look at her and I'd want to hold her. And she had this beautiful smell. And I would just come close and I was very attached. And my love language is physical touch. So I would just be wanting to hold her and she would, move away. And I remember this one particular, oh, I hope I don't cry.
It's okay.
uh, this one particular day, I told her, I know you want to leave me, but I won't let you go. I'm not going to let you go. You're not going anywhere. And I just see tears coming from her eyes. And then the last day was hard because I'd brought 3 oxygen tanks. We'd hired them, thinking, okay, this is it, but she'll heal. And things just went downhill, one after the other, to take her to Russia to the hospital. And the night I was calling my cousins, a lot of my family, extended family came, the uncles and aunts, and they were with us. And I would call my sister in UK, and we spoke, and she was, just trying to give me strength. And I was just so anxious. I didn't want to lose her. But just the state that she was in, I think all through my prayers were, God, heal her, heal her, heal her. That particular night, I said, if you're not healing her, just take her. Don't put her through this. And that was it. That was the night she went. And after that, dealing with that, like I said, I don't know, till date, even if I hear some romantic song, the first thought that comes in my mind is my
Is your
mom.
mom?
And it's hard. I recall this very well. After I lost her, the first 6 months, 6 to 7 months, I was like a zombie. I didn't know what to do. I thought I'll get into drugs. And then there's a gentleman, he's a third gentleman, he's called Rukmadas from the ISKCON temple. He had come home for prayers and he saved me. He gave me the Bhagavad Gita. He said, read this. And I said, I don't even have pictures. How will I read this? That helped me.
Okay. And I think when we'd spoken earlier as well, you after this, you'd also been through another incident that happened at your house where you had a break-in,
Yeah.
and that was also something that when I heard about it, so basically I knew about you. I knew of you at that time. I don't think we had met then.
We had.
We had met? Okay,
This
I'm
happened in
sorry.
2015.
Okay, so, but we didn't really know each other that well, I think. And yeah, when I heard about it, I think I was in shock. And, everybody has their own way of saying things. But I guess, how did that change, that ordeal change your life?
It's fascinating. This thought just hit me. In fact, this morning I was thinking about it. It's such a sad state of, I don't know if the country or the world in general, but everyone has had an experience of either a break-in or has been robbed or has witnessed somebody getting robbed. It's just that the intensity is different.
Yeah,
Somebody has been through the worst of the worst. Somebody's been in the middle of a terrorist attack where they thought they're gone.
yeah,
or somebody, like everyone's, but everyone definitely has had something or the other. And so this incident happened on the 14th of May, 2015. It was a Thursday. I had just come from a friend's house on the previous night, and they told me, "Oh, get home early, and it's not safe right now." And we used to live on the second floor of community flats, and I used to sleep with my mom's. It was a purple sweater of hers that I used to feel like if I sleep with it, her smell comes and all. So I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning. My father was praying, and he usually prayed before going to work. Because we were on the second floor, these were just newly built. We had moved in maybe a few months in,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4 months in. So there's no grill or anything.
Yeah.
It was just the door, and the door was so loose, if you kick in, you'd be in.
Oh, wow.
I think a lot of people didn't even put stoppers. I
Yeah.
talked to a couple of neighbors. They said we were lucky. Us guys didn't even have any. They were like, we were lucky they didn't show up at ours. So 6:15, they ring the bell. And I was just that sleep where you're just about waking up, but you're still. It's the good sleep, the
Yeah.
manifesting
Yeah.
sleep, that one.
Yeah.
So I was in that zone, and they rang the bell, and I heard my dad walk there, and I heard the conversation where they said, "Sisi watu wa maziwa, hakuna maziwa leo." So I'm like, "There's no milk. There's no milk. Who comes to tell you this?" And the next second, I heard my dad, being strangled and put on the chair, and I ran out and I kicked one guy, and then I had a scuffle with the other one, and I didn't realize when he removed the knife and he put it through my face.
Wow.
So it missed all my vitals, my eye, my the vital veins and everything. But I don't know. God's really merciful how it went through here and it came out through the neck. Um, and that time you're so high on adrenaline, it doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't feeling the pain. I was just glad my father's okay. And we were rushed to the hospital. And while on the hospital bed, I thought I'm going.
Hmm.
And I thought, this is it. This is my life. It's been great. And I'm thinking, okay, what's happening now? All the things you've heard previously about, oh, your life flashes back. So I was waiting. I said, why is it flashing? Why is it not flashing? Have
Yeah.
I not done anything good? And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about songs. My face is, pumping blood out, and there in my head, I'm thinking, Suraya Masuri Mama. And I was thinking about my dad. I'm thinking, I can see him cry, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the second time I'd seen him cry in my life. And I was like, what is going to happen with him? Who will take care of him? What will happen? And I was rushed to the operation theater, and I just, nurse introduced herself, and she put a Caesar through the sweater, and she said, "We're going to cut it." And then I was like, "No, that's my mom's sweater."
Yeah.
That's it. The next thing I woke up in the ICU
Wow.
or HDU.
So you've had two ordeals where one, you've lost your favorite person,
Yes.
and then you've been through this. How has all this changed you as a person? How did it give you a lot of realizations, or what was it like? Has it, like, for me, I've been through what you've been through, obviously, not been hit or anything,
Yeah.
but it brought in a lot of fear inside of me. Like, even till date, if I hear some little bit of sound, I wake up at night. I can't sleep peacefully unless I've meditated, just to calm myself, because now my nervous system is always in survival mode, because I've been through it, you've been through it. So, how, I mean, did you look for a way to heal yourself from all that trauma that you've been through? Did you go for any healing, or did you go for any sort of therapy? Or what helped you? Or was it reading books? What helped you come out of it?
So, well, I'm not for or against it, but therapy doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I've done therapy a couple of times, and every time I've tried it, it's never worked for me or as such. It's not helped me as such.
Okay.
Once I felt like the therapist was good, uh, because I was in some relationship where the person was having issues with me being too attached to my father. So I was forced into therapy, and the therapist like, no, it's normal. I'm also very attached to my parent. What's so wrong? And so that's the one therapy I felt like, okay, that was worth my money. But the rest, I feel like they don't really ever help me. No, I tried it once when I lost my mom. It didn't really help. I didn't really do any therapy after the incident. But after that, like therapy is not something for me. It
Okay.
works wonders for others.
Yeah.
And I've had friends who've been really helped with therapy, but for me, it doesn't do much. What helped me for sure is books. I started reading a lot of books,
Self-help books.
self-help books, autobiographies really helped me.
Okay.
I think there's something about the mind, about familiarity.
Yes.
And what I discovered about the mind, when you're in school and the teacher is asked who's not done homework, and there's this fear that sits in you because you feel like you're the only one you're going to get judged. And then the minute you wake up and another guy wakes up, it suddenly makes you feel like so
Like
relaxed. Like I'm not the only one who'll get beaten up. It's the two of us.
okay. Yeah.
And life is similar. When you read about others having gone through something that you've gone through or even worse, it makes you feel lighter. You feel like, oh, okay, so it's not just me, everyone else has also been through their fair share of struggles.
Yes.
So when you read about other biography, I love to watch a lot of biographies. It was very inspired by Mike Tyson
Okay.
for the life that he had gone through, and then the ups and downs in his career and everything. And I am very inspired by a lot of other people's journeys.
Okay.
So that, I think, that helped me.
So which is your favorite book?
Oh, there are a couple. There's one is The Four Agreements of Life.
Uh-huh. I love that book.
It's such a beautiful book. It's easy read. 1 week you'll finish it.
Yeah.
I see a Gopal Das book here. I've not read this one, but the first one that I read was Life's Amazing Secrets. That's a very beautiful
book as well. I've read it. Yes.
Stoicism. Stoicism has really helped me. The Way of Stoicism.
Okay.
That's a beautiful book. Recently, I read The Let Them Theory
By Mel Robbins.
by Mel Robbins.
Yes.
I thought that was such a good book.
Yeah.
I've just finished The Courage to be Disliked.
Mm-hmm.
I like that as well. It's very interesting because it tells you about your mind and how it convinces you otherwise. This whole inferiority complex that we deal with, insecurities that we deal with, it explains how these are just excuses.
Yeah.
Because I could relate with what you're saying, because I was doing the breakfast show after that incident, which means I have to be up and out of the house by 5 a.m. when it's pitch dark.
Dark. Yeah.
And any sound that comes, you're like on alert. You're startled.
Yeah.
And I think the one way to face your fears and get over it is
Face them.
head towards it.
Yeah.
And this I discovered earlier this year. My friends had gone to Mombasa for a dive. And they do this annually. And this year they were like, join us. But because they were on a different course and I was still starting, so their days were different than mine. So when I went for mine, they were not with me.
Yeah.
And I realized I'm so seasick. The minute I was on the boat, I was just throwing up. I couldn't do it. And I went for my practice, and then I was with my friend and his wife for the dive. So they were jumping on this side, I was going on this side. And I somehow just, I was talking to them, and most people's fears is getting into the water.
Yeah.
That wasn't my fear. I was like, yeah, that I can do. I had no fear of doing the jump. It's going in that the fear sinks in.
Yeah.
And the minute we went down, some 12 feet down, some fear came in. And I removed the mask that gives you the oxygen and everything. And that guy panicked. He's like, hey, put that back in your mouth.
Yeah.
It was such a horrible experience, my first dive. And I said, there's no ways I'm doing this tomorrow. I'm done. And the money goes. I don't know what happened to me the next morning. I said, no, I'll do it. Because I'm scared of it, I'll do it. Just to face, just to see what happens. And I went the next day. And we went deeper, and it was a better dive than the previous day, but I don't think I'll do it again. But I did it just to face the fear. And I think that's how I overcame it. Even the fear of somebody getting close to you at 5 a.m., I said, I'll face it. Even if I have to put up a fight, I'll face it.
Yeah.
And that's how I would get over it.
Wow. Um, you're absolutely right. When you face your fears, I think that's the best thing you can do. So, just to go into the books that you've read, any favorite quote from any of your favorite books that you'd like to share?
Favorite quote? Oh, my
Or
memory is not.
something that you remember from a particular book that has stuck in you?
I think from Stoicism, the big takeaway for me was we look at life very differently.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at things as is, it makes life so much better. Just accept things as they are.
Oh, I love that. I actually love
And
that.
and that's it's like the go-to formula for everything.
No, definitely. I agree with you. In fact, there's something I wanted to share with you. So, this is one of my favorite books. You Can Have It All by Gaur Gopal Das. And this is one of my favorite things that, when you go through the summary at the end of every chapter, and it says, these are the things to think about: escape pain or allow it to pass. Pain always feels permanent in the moment. It feels like our whole world has ended. Pain convinces us it will last forever. It fills every corner of our world until we forget what light feels like. But pain isn't the world, it's a passing season. It storms, it cools down, and then quietly it begins to fade. Fragments versus the full story. Making decisions based on fragments of information is like building on broken glass, fragile and painful. What we hear or see may be partly true, but it is rarely the whole picture. We always make assumptions. The danger of assumptions, there we go. Half heard words, incomplete stories, and silence can feel sharper than lies. Assumptions often hurt more than the truth because they replace curiosity with judgment. There was a story about the hidden mango principle, about a boy actually being asked by the teacher that I have two mangoes, you have two mangoes. How many mangoes do we have altogether with yours and my mangoes? And he kept on saying five. And the reason why the boy kept on saying he had five mangoes because he had one hidden
Yes,
mango
that.
inside his bag. So this is actually based on that. Like the boy who had an extra mango in his bag, both sides in a relationship may hold unseen truths. Misunderstandings arise when one doesn't reveal and the other doesn't ask. Trust requires both expression and inquiry. And this is all about the art of communication. I think this is where a lot of us make mistakes. When you're having a conversation with somebody, pause before reacting, let emotions settle. And like you'd actually mentioned earlier, you are unsure whether to go and, whoever misbehaved with your dad, whether to actually go head on and. So it's all about you have to pause before acting. This is something I learned and I've also done it over the weekend and it really helps. Trust me. Replace accusation, why did you, with curiosity. Please help me understand. State the facts before giving interpretations. Assume good intent until proven otherwise. Express hurt before it festers. Beyond right and wrong. Not every silence is neglect. Sometimes it is helplessness. Fear or love expressed clumsily. Empathy allows us to see the story behind the choices, even if they hurt. There are moments when distinguishing between right and wrong is not easy, and all we can do is choose the path that lets us breathe a little easier. This is one of my favorite parts of this book. Actually, this whole book is amazing. And every time I read that part, it helps me understand sometimes we don't really understand what the other person's going through. We judge people a lot. We never know what is going on in somebody else's life. I think being kind is one of the biggest things you can do, not only for somebody else, but also for yourself. So, with that keeping in mind, thank you so much, Vikash. I've had an amazing, amazing session with you. And I loved speaking to you. And I think we actually connected really well. I do also understand where you're coming from. I hope you've had a fun time, also remembering your mom today. And I'm sure wherever she is, she must be very, very, very proud of you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Definitely. So thank you so, so much for being with us today. And if you do like this podcast, please do put it in the comment sections. Please do subscribe to the channel and put in your likes. Thank you so, so much. Until next time, take care. Bye.